Hey, hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about how do you progress throughout the mid game in the game The Tower. So first I'm going to define what I consider to be the mid game within the tower. You can disagree with me, you can rage into the comment below. I will be talking about it very happily with you. Everyone can have his own definition. I providing you my definition of what I consider to be the mid game of the game. So the game is, let's say, divided in different tier of league when you are farming tournament. What I consider to be the early game is copper and silver, because the tier that you are competing in is very low, and this is to me like vanilla within the game. It's really like the early game. And if you are looking for a video that is dedicated for the first 100 days when you are playing within the copper and the silver league, which are the very beginning of the game, I made a dedicated video. And today's video is the follow-up of the video on the 100 days, and it's following up on the mid game, which to me is gold and platinum. Champion, in my point of view, is the late game, and legend is the end game. So that is my definition. So today the video is going to be focusing on gold and platinum. If you have not reached gold and platinum, you may get some information that are useful and you are going to use. If you are already above platinum, I mean, maybe there is some things that you are going to learn, but those kind of things are meant to be acquired for you, and most likely you already know what I'm going to present today. So let's start with your gems. I think gems is very important because this is defining a lot of your strategy. If you are in the mid game, you probably already have unlocked the 5 lab slots. If you haven't, this is your number one priority. It's very important that you start with this. The second things that you have worked on is your card, and I do recommend for the mid game to have 11, 12 slot of cards. I don't think it's that necessary to get more for the mid game. And then I do not recommend to pull your gems into your card outside of the quest that requests you to buy 80 cards. I think your gems should be spent in modules that are very, very long-term farm, but are providing you immense benefit when you get good modules. So my recommendation for you is, if you are into the mid games, you need to start putting gems into your modules, so you start building very, very strong modules. You will need them later on, and the rest should be done. You should have a guild. It's very important for you to have a guild because you will get those packs every week, and those packs will help you build your guardian. And on your guardian, you need to build first the fetch here. Fetch is amazing, and it allows you to get free medal and free gems per day. So fetch is the number one priority. And when you have a very strong fetch, and you need to start with the chance of finding an object, this is the number one priority. When you have a good one, which is above 25% of chance of finding an object, then you can start eventually work on your steel, which is going to provide you more coins. So this is the things that you need to work on your guardians. Regarding your tournament, I'm going to talk about later about the tournament. Regarding your event, so you need to do all the mission. When you are entering the end game, the mid game, you should be able to complete most of the mission that you have and get every time both of the relics. And in the shop, what you want is to have twice the pack of the stones. This is very important. You want to have the themes that are very important. And if there is the relics, you want to buy the relics. If you have done all of that, so relics, the themes, and then the 2 pack of stones, you may consider to invest into your golden bot. Don't disregard the other ones, they're not worth it. You want to invest into your golden bot. And golden bot, you want to start with the range. Range is really the number one priority that you want to do. It's really increasing your range. So build the range of your golden bot. This is what you want to do with your medals. Or you work on your golden bot. But it's very important that you don't miss those relics and those themes, because they're not going to be available for a very long time before they reappear in the potential event. And this is also true for the relic that you get here. So there is always 2 relics that are free to play, and there is 2 relics here that are locked under a paywall. Personally, I don't take them very often, those relics, but if you think that they are really worth it and you want to spend some money, this is something that can potentially be unlocked, so you get those relics. But my point was really, every time that you are doing an event, purchase the themes, purchase the relic with the medals. This is completely free to play, and this is going to stack up and help you on the long run. One thing that is important and sometimes is not known by most of the player is, if you want to increase the multiplicator that you see here, one of the things that is going to increase it is the themes bonus and the relic bonus. And what it means is that every time that you are purchasing a theme, you are going to get an additional bonus, and those bonus, they are stacking. It's the same for relic. It doesn't only apply to the theme that you are using. So you see right now, the themes that I'm using is the plasma orb, and I have, like, I think it's the stars, so background. But if I go here and I go in event shop, I purchased the marshmallow and I purchased the camping one. I'm not using them because you don't see them on my tower, but the fact that I purchased it, I'm still having the bonus that apply. And this is also true for relics. So it's not only the relics that you can display that are effective, it's everything. So you need to start stacking all those bonuses because they add up, and at some point it really makes a huge difference. So that's why that I do recommend that every time that you are doing an event, you start with purchasing the relics, then the themes, so you get them, and then eventually you purchase the packs. Now, the main objective for the mid-game is you need to build a solid economy. An economy that is very strong in the tower will allow you to invest into your workshop, which will allow you to start the tournament with higher stats and will allow you to go further. When you are within the mid game, usually even through the free upgrade that you have, you are not going to be able to max within the first 500-600 wave of a tournament your workshop. So you need to start with as high as possible workshop so you can go as far as possible. So you need to invest inside, and you need to have a strong economy to be able to do so. So the things that you are looking on is very basic base health. You want to have this as high as possible so you can max your health. You want to have a little bit of damage as well, because if you have unlocked the death wave, the damage will allow you to have the death wave ring that stays for longer, which will increase the number of death wave health bonus that you get. So you see, when you have maxed the research, you can multiply your health by 12.50 with Death Wave, which is a lot. So having a little bit of damage is going to help you. And then the third thing that you want to look is the enemy attack level skip. I think in mid-game, enemy health level skip is not useful. So you don't want to work on enemy health level skip. But if you have a little bit of coins to spend, enemy attack level skip is going to be very good as you are relying on EHP. This is going to help you tremendously. My recommendation is that through the mid-game, you do not unlock the wall. The wall is something that you can unlock after Death Defy into the workshop defense. The problem with the wall is that it will require you to invest a lot of time and a lot of coins into the research to have a wall that is worth using, and it will also interfere with your auto upgrades when you are within the tournament, because you have more stats that will need to be auto upgrade. So my recommendation is you should not touch the wall before you are high platinum minimum, and you can generate probably like 200-300 billion per day. I think to me this is really like the minimum to be able to have a wall that is solid and efficient. So my recommendation is you do not unlock the wall yet. It's not worth it. Second thing that I think is not worth it is to unlock here the rend armor that is basically increasing the damage of your auto attack. The thing is that it's going to interfere with the rest because you have more stats to be auto upgrade. It costs 500 billion, and I think those amount of money is way better invested into something else that in rend armor. The damage are pretty much irrelevant when you are in mid game because that's not something that you need. You need to have EHP. So to me, it's another mistake is to unlock the rend armor. So my recommendation is don't unlock those, and instead you can focus on nicely building your damage, especially nicely building your health pool, and then the enemy attack levels keep, so you build a solid and strong EHP build. And by the way, when I say EHP, it means effective health pool, which is relying on defense. So everything that is preventing you from taking damage, such as health, such as defense percentage, is very good. Another thing is the chrono field. If you have the chrono field that is permanent, it's going to reduce the damage that you take when the chrono field is active, and this is also helping you tanking the enemy. So when I say playing EHP, it means that you are relying on your tankiness to move forward into the wave. If you are in mid game, don't invest in defense absolute. This is good only in tier 1, but above it doesn't really matter. Like if you see, I can max it, and it's only going to reduce by 236 million, but the enemy, they are dealing billions of damage. So this is really something that is completely useless, so don't invest in this. Since I'm talking about EHP, I think a rule of thumb is that every time that you are playing in a tier that is 12 or below, EHP is performing better. And every time that you are playing above tier 12, so 13 and above, the glass cannon build, so relying on damage, is scaling better to deal with those tier. So you are going to use EHP for a long time. You see, I'm still farming in T10, so meaning that I'm still relying on EHP to be able to farm. So building your EHP now is going to be useful not only now, but also much later on, because you are still going to use this to farm for month and month. So really very important you build your EHP right now in gold and platinum. The next second big objective is going to be the one on ultimate weapon and stones. And the main objective of the mid game is you need to have the combo that is unlock and synchronize. And when I say the combo, I'm talking about the infamous golden tower and black hole. So the full combo is also using the death wave, but at the beginning, if you just have the golden tower and the black hole that are synchronized, and I insist on synchronized, this is when you have unlocked the combo and your economy is going to skyrocket. The golden tower is offering you a very nice bonus. You see right now is multiplying by 30 the number of coins that I'm making just with golden tower when it's active, and what you want is that the black hole is activating exactly at the same time that golden tower is. So the black hole multiplicator that can go to multiply by 11 is multiplying the golden tower, meaning that when those two activate together, I will multiply the coins that I generate by 330, which is massive. And this is how you manage to get so much coin later on. You need to have this combo that is synchronized. To have that, the first step, my recommendation is that you are relying on lowering the cooldown of golden tower. You should not touch about the cooldown of black hole. You should stay as it is, which I believe is 3.2 minutes initially. And then you should lower down the cooldown of golden tower until it matches exactly the cooldown of black hole. And every time that you want to reduce the cooldown of one, you need to have enough stuns to reduce the cooldown of both. So you always have a synchronization that is good. I do not recommend to have synchronization that are a multiple, such as you have two black holes that activate every time that you have one golden tower that activates. The problem doing so is that it's going to prevent you from using good modules such as the Galaxy compressor. So My recommendation is really to have a one-to-one synchronization between Golden Tower and Black Hole. I do not recommend to synchronize the Death Wave with the two others through stones, because it costs you way too much stones to keep up with the Golden Tower and the Black Hole, as the Death Wave basic CD is like the Golden Tower, it's quite high. I would recommend that you synchronize the Death Wave with the two others using a module in a second step. But early on, when you don't have good epic module, I think having the manual synchronization between the two is a very, very nice step towards creating a very strong economic boost. As you are building those two, when you have the Black Hole and the Golden Tower that are together, you want to invest a little bit into the Golden Tower, especially the multiplicator, the duration, and the same for the Black Hole. You want to have a size that is taking a good fraction of your screen, and you want to have a duration that is as close as possible to the Golden Tower, minus 12 seconds. Because when you are going to farm, you will unlock the perks, and through the perks you are going to get 12 seconds of extra Black Hole duration. So it's okay if your Black Hole is not having the same amount of time that your Golden Tower has, because you are going to get more seconds through the runs when you unlock this perk. Regarding the research that you are going to have, you will need to have a little bit of Golden Tower bonus on the research. I think it's nice, but it's not something that you need to go crazy on. Going from level 5 to level 10 on those ultimate weapon research here. So this level is 25 is the max, but it gets really long towards the end. So I do recommend that you start with level 5 to 10, and it's completely okay. On the opposite, the Golden Tower duration, this one you need to have the goal to max it on a short term. For the Black Hole, I think one that is very important is the Black Hole coin multiplicator, because this is the heart of your bonus, and this is something that you need to work on as soon as possible. It's going to take you time, but step by step you need to increase it to multiply by 11. I was talking about the Rand armor that is costing 500 billion. For a price that is a bit similar, you can get an extra Black Hole. I think it's similar in terms of price. It's quite expensive, but it's completely worth it, because now you multiply the coin generation by 2 by creating 2 Black Hole, and if the size is big enough, you are going to get pretty much every enemies within the Black Hole when it's popping, increasing your damage dramatically. So really, this is to me the basic of your combo is getting the Black Hole coin bonus, getting the extra duration for the Golden Tower, a little bit of Golden Tower bonus, and already with those 2 ultimate weapons synchronized, you will get a massive influx of coins versus what you had before. Moving on to the modules, and as I was talking about the combo, the economical combo, one of the things that you need to look for is the Multiverse Nexus. The Multiverse Nexus is going to synchronize naturally the Death Wave, the Golden Tower, and the Black Hole, and it will take the average time, and that will be the time for all of them to be activated within the same time. Now there is a catch, because at the beginning at epic level you will increase this average by 20 seconds, which means that you are going to nerf yourself. So I think at epic quality, if you have already the Black Hole and the Golden Tower synchronized, it's not really worth using it. It starts to be worth using it at legendary quality, where you're only nerfing yourself by 10 seconds, but you are going to increase your coin generation, because now you're also going to have the multiplicator of the Death Wave. And if you have increased this into the laboratory, you are going to increase your coin generation by a lot. Every time that is above legendary, it's completely worth using this to have everything synchronized up to the point that you have perma Black Hole, and this is way later, so I'm not going to talk about this into the mid game. This is tips for another video. So focus on the Multiverse Nexus. The other things that you want to look for that is extremely strong is the Galaxy Compressor. Even at an epic quality, you will reduce all the cooldown of your ultimate weapon by 10 seconds. And this is extremely strong because that means the black hole, the death wave, the golden tower, they are going to be reduced every time that you are taking a recovery package, which is a lot. And that means that you are going to activate your combo way faster and you are going to generate more coins. So this is something that is huge for farm, and even at epic quality, it will overperform certain other modules that you can get at very high quality. So I do recommend that every time that you have it, even at epic quality, you start working on this and you use it. The things that you are looking for is the package chance. This is something that is very important. So you are proccing the unique effect more often. The second thing that is important is the attack level skip, which will allow you to go further into the wave for farm and in tournament. And the third thing that you are looking for is the coins per kill bonus. I'm just going back to this very quickly. The things that you are looking for at Substat is the Golden Tower bonus. This is very important. The Death Wave quantity when you are using this is very important. And then after, don't disregard the Spotlight angle. This is something that is later on when you have a very strong Spotlight. The things that you are looking for could be the Golden Tower cooldown, Black Hole duration, Golden Tower duration, everything that is around Black Hole, Golden Tower, or Death Wave cooldown. This is things that are going to boost your economy, and this is what you are looking for. Regarding the attack module, so I'm using a level 1 because I'm playing a Devo build, and I'm going to talk about this later on into the video. So regarding the attack module for farm, there's not something that is very important. If you are playing into a blender, which means that you are pushing back the enemy and you are killing them with orbs, one of the things that is very important is the attack speed, so you can control the enemy, but there's not something very important about the attack module. Regarding the defensive module, there is multiple things that you can look for. One of the things that I really like to play EHP is the Wormhole Redirector that is going to regen through health regen the shield that you are getting from package, and this is going to help yourself keep your shield quite high, especially if you have high health regen. And it's also something that can be used to do a Devo build, which is what I do. I'm using this one through a Devo build that is not using the wall. Another thing that is very good is if you start getting the Sharp Fortitude, so you can get a very nice boost for the wall that you are going to unlock further into your gameplay. So this is another one that could potentially be good. But overall, what is very important when you are farming is that you can use here the highest quality of module that you have available, so you unlock the defense percentage as high as possible. The defense percentage is one of these stats that have a higher return on investment, meaning that if you are taking 96% of damage, if you are getting 96% of damage reduction and you move to 98% of damage reduction, it's not 2% less damage that you take, is you actually divide the damage that you take by 2, because you are meant to take only 4% of the total damage that an enemy is dealing, and then if you move to 98, you are going to take 2%. So from 4 to 2, you are dividing by 2 the damage that you take. So having a high percentage of defense here, it's very key into your farm run to be able to go as far as possible. And the closest you are from the cap, that is 98%, and the better you are going to perform into those farming runs. If you want to know more about the modules, I have a dedicated video that is only treating modules, so this is something that can interest you. I will put a link into the comments down below. Staying on the farm, the thing that is very important to get right is the perks, because the perks are something that is going to drastically improve the survivability that you have in your runs, but also it's going to increase the amount of coins that you are generating. The things that you need to look for is the perk wave requirement. This is usually the #1 priority, so you get your perks much quicker and you get those nice bonuses much quicker, meaning that you are going to start generating extra coins quicker. Then on the economical side of things, you have these coins here versus the health that is extremely beneficial because it's going to almost multiply by 2 the number of coins that you are generating. You have the max game speed that is interesting, the black hole duration, the golden tower bonus, all those things are good, extra death wave, and then obviously the coin multiplicator. All those things are going to multiply the coins that you are generating. Once again, I have a dedicated video on perks that is going to help you if you want to go further into the subject. For the purpose of this video, what I mean is that you need to start working on the research for your perks. So if you go down here, you see that you have perk research, and things that you need to look for is the perk option quantity. This by default, you have only 2 options that you can choose from when you are unlocking the perks, and having this to level max, meaning that every time that you have a perk that is unlocked, you can choose from 4, which is significantly increasing the chance that you get something that you are interested on when you have this. So this is something that you need to unlock very fast. Other things that I really like is the auto pick perks that will allow you to just click a box and then the system will pick automatically perks for you, so you don't have to click it, and the game is becoming more idle when you are taking this option, and this is the way I like to play. First spec choice is going to allow you to have the wave requirement choose number 1, which will ease your run. So this is very nice. And then the auto pick ranking is going to rank the perks that you want to take in priority. So this is the things that you need to work on. So you have something that is more stable. And when you are doing night runs, meaning that you let the game play through the nights, you will be able to have something that will generate a lot of coins because your right perks are going to be taken. So this is something that you need to work on to build your economy during the mid game. Now that you are into the mid game, let's talk about the cards. So into the cards, in the mid game, you should have access at least to level 1 with 1 star all of the cards. The things that are interesting for you to look for when you are farming is wave accelerator, that is going to increase the number of coins by reducing the downtime between the wave. So this is going to boost your coins. Health is very important because you are playing EHP, so you need to tank more. So health is very important. Critical coins, this is going to help you generate more coins because every time that you get a normal enemy that is killed by an orb, it's considered to be a crit, and that means that you have 33% at max level chance to get coins in, even if it wasn't supposed to drop coins. So critical coins are very important, enemy balance very important, the coin bonus, the cash. Recovery package is especially good if you are using the Galaxy compressor module that I talked about, that is going to increase the chance of getting a recovery package, meaning reducing the ultimate weapon cooldown. So this is very nice. Extra defense, very important because you want to tank more. Then we have wave skip here that is going to accelerate your run and increase the number of coins that you get. And then that's it. The rest is more on your choice, but the one that I explained and just mentioned is something that is going to help you. Once again, I have a dedicated video on cards, so if you want to have a look at it, you should watch it. I'm going into the details of all the cards that I think are important to do for farm. Another thing that you want to work on when you are playing into the mid game is to start building a set for farm and a set for tournament. You want to have a set for tournament that potentially is not using something like coins bonus because you don't care about coins in tournament or critical coins, but instead is something that is allowing you to go further into the tournament. So having a dedicated set for tournament is going to help you. And if you go to see my video that is dedicated on cards, you will see what I mean by set for tournaments. Let's talk about the lab a little bit. So one of the things that is very important is that the lab speed should be, you should aim for lab speed to minimum level 50. Ideally, you should go to level 100. I'm lacking patience to go to level 100, but this is a very nice research that is going to help you anyway. So lap speed, you need to aim for minimum of level 50. This is something that is very important. Now, as you are playing EHP, one of the very important research is going to be health. Health is a very basic research, but is going to help you tremendously because every time that you are completing one level, you get 3% into the research, which is quite a lot for research and will allow you to tank way more, meaning that you are going to get further in tournament and also going further into your farm run, generating more coins. So this is a very important one. Defense percentage here, the maximum beneficial level is 23. I went too far. I wasn't aware of this, but you need to work a little bit into your defense percentage because this is going to be helping you to go further into your farm runs to get closer of the 98% defense cap that you get from the farming runs. Now, regarding the utility, one of the things that is important to build your economy is the coins per kill bonus. That is the one that is generating the basic coins every time that you kill an enemy. This is something that you need to work and work quite high to be able to generate more economy. So very basic, very simple, but it works quite well. And then after, all the rest is going to be on ultimate weapon. So on ultimate weapons, the things that you need to consider, as I was explaining before, is a little bit of golden tower bonus and the golden tower direction that needs to be maxed. Then on the death wave, you need to work on the death wave health bonus that is going to increase your maximum health and boost the time that you are surviving in tournaments and in farm runs. So this is something that is very important. Death wave coins bonus, so when you get the module that is synchronizing the death wave with the two others, then you get extra coins. So that's also something that is nice that I do recommend you start working on. And then as I was explaining, the black hole coins bonus and then the extra black hole, this is something that in the mid game are very good. Regarding the rest, I mean, there is a lot of things that are important, but I would say for the mid game, this is not the priority. For cards, I don't think there is something that is super important. I would say maybe the orb adjuster and the extra orbs for mid game can be good. The perks, we talked about it already. There is a lot of things to do on perks for the mid game, so you can stabilize your run and get more steady income even if you're not in front of your mobile when you are playing. So this is very important. But you don't touch it, enemy, you don't touch it into the mid games. And then modules is I think it starts to be worth looking at it. The things that I do recommend to start looking at into the mid game is maybe putting like 10 to 15 level to reroll shards, 10 to 15 levels to daily mission shard, and then eventually a bit of common drop chance and rare drop chance. This is like the 4 things that you can start to work on. Be careful because rare drop chance is quite expensive. So it's more like, if you feel like it's sometime dedicated one slot of your research to be advancing a little bit into module, it's not going to be wasted. You will need it at some point, and the longer you wait and the harder it's going to be to generate the things that you need on your modules later on. So don't neglect too much those things because they are going to be useful later on. And then that's it for research. Finally is when you have synchronized your black hole and your golden tower, you may consider to work on a Devo build. A Devo build, once again, have a dedicated video for Devo, but the idea is that you are not going to kill the enemy and to push them back into the orbs. Instead, you are going to try to stack the enemy, and there is multiple ways to stack the enemy. You can either nerf the tone of your tower, meaning that every enemy will have to hit you multiple times before they getting killed. Another way is to use the wall, which is going to actually do the same thing, nerf your tone, because there is only a fraction of the tone that is going to be applied to the wall. or you can use the stun on the landmine that is going to prevent the enemy from attacking you and are going to stack them. The whole idea of a Devo build is you want to stack enemy as much as possible, and then when you have the Black Hole, Golden Tower and Death Wave that are popping, you are sucking up all the enemy that have been stacked into the black holes, and you are generating a lot of coins, because not only the one that are spawning during the activation of the ultimate weapon are going to be killed and get you bonus coins, but also the one that were accumulating around your tower. So this is something that is a bit complex, and I have also a dedicated video on the Devo build, but if you manage to make it work, it will actually increase your coins by a lot, especially when you have a tower that has not a great cooldown on the ultimate weapon that are economical. So at the beginning of a mid game, when you have everything synchronized but you have cooldown that are around 3 minutes and 30 seconds, this is something that potentially could boost your coins quite well. If you're still in the video, then thanks for staying until the very end of the video. I'm doing some review of people that are subbing to my channel and leaving a comment review under certain video. This is not a video for this, but if you are interested of personal review, this is something that I do regularly, so you can check it. There is some review that I have done in the past that are for gold, platinum player, but also lower like silver. I think there is pretty much every league that I covered now. You may find very interesting feedback that are also applicable for you. So if you're interested of looking at this, you may check the series that I called Boost My Tower, that is actually helping my sub, and maybe you also learn something that is dedicated to people within the mid range of tower advancement. Thank you for watching. If this video will help you, please consider subscribing to my channel. You can also share it to your guildmates or the friends that are playing the tower. And I see you on the next video.